All right, everybody, welcome back to ROMR. Now, I know it's been a long time since we did a video. Frankly, there just hasn't been that much to talk about, and we didn't want to go out and just try to drum up content out of nothing. We've seen a lot of YouTube channels in the automotive space trying to do that lately because there is no real news, nothing to grab hold of. Right now, as we sort of sort through all of this tariff stuff and the shift of production and the delete of carb regulations and diesel and all this stuff. And yeah, we didn't want to just come along and talk about nothing. So it's been a little while, our apologies, but you will notice over my shoulder that I'm sitting at a Dodge dealership and there's a ton of trucks sitting there that need to be sold. And that's where I'm going with this one today, because we got some bad news on the Ramcharger, a product that we are personally very excited about, and we know that our audience is very excited about, and the industry seemed to be pretty jazzed about. Another delay, okay? And let's back up a little bit. History-wise, we were supposed to get this truck sometime last year. And we were going to get the battery electric version of the Ram Rev first, and then the Ramcharger was going to come along shortly thereafter. And then we got the news that they were flipping those, and that we would then see the Ramcharger first, which in our opinion was the right move. But we wouldn't see the Ramcharger until Q1 2025. Well, guys, it's now May, and we've already had another delay announcement. And they told us that in their media presentation with all the technical teams and the CEO, that it would be second half of 2025 we would get the Ramcharger. Well, we're pretty close to the second half, and we received no ordering guides, no real product information since that February event. And then someone at a publication reached out to Stellantis, and the media representative actually responded in an email and stated that we would now see Ramcharger in the first quarter of 2026. Another delay. And there's speculation online from folks who tend to know these things about production and what's actually happening in the facilities. They think we're not going to see this until the end of 2026. That's a huge miss, guys. I think Ram and Stellantis are missing the boat, and their window of opportunity is closing very quickly because their competitors are not standing still. And we know that the next-gen Silverado 1500 platform is coming, and we know that it's electrified, either through a traditional plug-in hybrid setup, or the rumor is they are working on an extended range hybrid version of the Silverado. And GM has shown an ability to execute in this area. They really have. The Ultium platform is doing really well. Now, the pure EV truck sales for Silverado and Sierra are not going great. The market has spoken and said they want this extended range hybrid approach. GM's going to respond. And if they do, they're going to eat Ram's lunch. Ram's opportunity to be first mover in this space is evaporating. And they promised the moon with this truck. The technology is there to deliver it. Probably the most disappointing aspect of the delay is if you go back to the February event, Tim Kuniskis got on stage and said, he looked right at the engineers and said, I've been driving this truck for a couple of weeks. You guys take me out in it. It sure as heck seems like it's ready to go. And yeah, some nervous laughter in the room, and chief engineer, kind of had that grin on his face. Hey, there's still some things to work out. Yep, we get that. That was several months ago. Do we need a year to iron out all of those remaining issues? That speaks to something else going on at Stellantis that I think is really troubling. We know that they're cooking up a return of the Hemi. Everybody knows that. That's no secret. We think that's coming very soon, within 30 to 45 days, the official announcements for that. That's at least the rumors we hear online. It sure feels like they've devoted a ton of engineering and product development resources to that reintroduction of the Hemi, and away from what they were working on with Ramcharger. And, that could probably solve some short-term issues they have with sales. All these trucks are just piling up, and there's a ton of cash on the hood. people have not received the straight twin turbo 6 as well, and they're having to do a lot to move this inventory. They think they can solve that by bringing the Hemis back, and they probably can with folks who want to buy trucks right now. But I do think they're sacrificing the future, because there is a significant percentage of the population, particularly in younger population, they're not going to become truck buyers with traditional V8s. If they buy vehicles at all, they're going to buy vehicles that are electrified. And, you know, the companies that are investing in that technology and can execute on the strategy are going to win. And, you know, with Jeep Gladiator 4xe still missing from the lineup, still missing, even though we know that the manufacturing plant is ready to go. The Charger EV, the inability to execute there from a software perspective and to roll out a really half-baked product. All the problems that we've had with this Jeep Wrangler 4xe and the battery tech there. I'm really worried about Stellantis from an execution perspective. I think they're creative. I think they had the right product plan. I just don't know that they can pull it off. So I'm really concerned about, you know, actually seeing this product anytime soon. We were supposed to already have this truck. We had big plans for this channel and that truck. You know, we do adventure and overland travel with an electrification bent. We love seeing that stuff come into the space. Now we got to wait another year. So we're going to have to come up with some alternative plan. We're either going to have to go with an EV platform or stick with traditional ICE and come up with some sort of hybrid approach to do what we want to do, and then transition over to Ramcharger if and when it shows up. We're at a loss. I know a lot of you are waiting on that product, so you're probably equally frustrated. Now, I'm probably going to see some goofball comments down there about my shirt. Hope you guys like it. It's from India, talking about India today and some of the cool work that we actually do there for kids, rescuing kids from really unfortunate circumstances. If you're interested in that, I'll actually drop a link below where you can learn more. Maybe you could donate. If you do that, please let us know in the comments. Otherwise, I'll be back to my traditional polos and pullovers in the next video. Hope you guys like this. Please subscribe. We're so close to 4,000 subscribers. Holy smokes. Get us over the hump. We'd really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be producing more content soon, because it does feel like we're about to hear some product announcements and this industry is going to start getting going again. Hope so. But we won't just jump on and create fluff. We're only going to do it when there's something relevant to talk about, because we got a lot of other things going on, a lot of travel, a lot of kids activities for Casey. But when something important happens, we will pop on. All right. Thanks, guys. And signing off.